Have no idea.
Dude, shit. All right. Hey, what's up, guys? This is the Cloud9 podcast, season 1, episode 7. So people are probably going to be like, well, what's going on? So I might as well explain this. So yesterday we did the usual show at, Tuesday, 6 p.m. PST. StreamYard started messing up where there was giving out some weird echo that I don't know what the fuck happened. I think they might have been doing maintenance or some shit. I'm not really too sure why, And then I just ended the show because, as a viewer, obviously, I'm not going to have you guys listen to that. That sounds disgusting. Like, I'll have to play that back and listen to that myself. I'm like, that sounds horrible. So I'd rather just, stop it and just redo it again. Like, I'd rather stop something and give you guys a better quality show than have that there. You know what I mean? And then I accidentally, when I tried to delete that, ended up deleting the episode that we did last week. So that's why you guys see, 2 shows scheduled, which would be this one and then another one later on, because I have to make up for the episode that's lost. So that's pretty much it. I accidentally deleted last week's show, and then that took away our predictions, because if you guys watched that show, I'm pretty sure everyone did. It had like 200 some views, 12 likes, perfectly fine. You guys would know that we all predicted RNG to win. Warren got lucky with that freaking PSG Talon save, right? Dude, I was watching the tournament and I was thinking to myself, there's no way RNG should lose this. At a certain point, I was like, they're just the best team at the tournament. And then I'm just ready to just see them win the tournament. I mean, like they were just playing better the entire tournament. I just couldn't see a world where they would ever like lose it and shit.
Yeah, the PSG team, they definitely they took a game off at least, right, of RNG, and they definitely could have won. They definitely could have tied up the series, because Doggo was playing like a Rottweiler in the last game when they lost.
He was playing really well, dude. Like Doggo, it's really interesting how he was on loan for them for the tournament because they couldn't get their actual ADC into the tournament, right? And then you're thinking to yourself, well, going into PCS's 2021 summer split, why don't they just pick up that guy? Why would, like, I don't know how the other guy performed. And to be fair, dude, I don't want it to be a situation where like he just overperformed for that tournament. Because usually what it kind of sucks for those situations, like, Stixay famously at MSI in 2016, he like overperformed and then he never was able to reach that height ever again. I hope it's a consistent thing. I hate it when players are only good for like one tournament or one split and then it never translates ever again, because that's just like certain players just peak, at certain different moments in time. And what else did you think like about MSI so far?
Oh, MSI. Oh, so we break. I like the new format.
Actually, yeah, we might as well just start from the beginning. So, earlier on, I already told Warren, we're going to do a whole video dedicated to MSI. But, since I kind of fucked myself over, I'm like, well, might as well do a stream based about it because the video would probably be an hour long anyway. So might as well just throw this up. All right. So MSI 2021. Let's start there at the group stage we had. So I like more games. You know what I mean? I like the idea of having more games. But the issue here is you play so many best of ones. By the time you get to the knockout stage, the best teams haven't really played against each other. It's pretty much just a coin flip. That's just how I see it. But like, they can't play best of threes, they claim, because it would run too long and you can only have the venue for a certain amount of time. But whether or not that's true at all, it's all conjecture. But to be fair, it does make the tournament more faster when you are able to obviously, have best of ones. So it just gets a speed up the tournament actually. But what else was I going to bring up? Oh yeah. Like I would not want to see a best of 3 between RNG and Pentanet,
Why
sorry.
Not? That's fun.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. There was like one game they were competitive in, and that was literally just because RNG was consistently throwing Barons, like just flipping them. And like, I do not want to see a Unicorns of Love versus Pentanet.gg like best of 3 at Worlds. And like Riot's always keen on viewership, and then best of 3s. Like the reason why they weren't like popular in the LCS, was because the viewers just didn't really like them. And like I was a person that was technically brought up in best of threes, watching LCK and LPL. So when LCS brought our best of threes, I was like, okay, it's going to be a natural progression. We saw the best regions do it, the ones that, LCK literally by that point in time, all the way back when LCS, brought in best of threes back in 2017 was, obviously the best region. You would think that you would adopt the best region things. It's so interesting how I think you brought this up too, and I did too. Like, why is that we don't actually not copy? Why don't we take cues from the best regions in the world and see how they're winning? I told people this for years. The best regions in the world play best of threes in the regular season, and they've won worlds almost every year since 2014, 2013.
Well, the the problem we having, right, is Riot implement new renected skin. The problem is that I'm sorry, chat, if you hear chat, if anyone hears that.
A cat? We got a cat now?
No, it's a chat.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
what's up, Stan? How you doing, man?
So here's the thing. When 2018 Worlds happened, we had that thing where Yamato did that famous speech that EU just loves to like go by, like it's like their new Bible. Like, oh, you gotta play your own fucking way and blah blah blah, whatever, right? So like now people like go by that, play by your whole style. Yeah.
So like what else ended up happening, is the viewers of the West didn't like best of threes. They did it for EU, they did it for NA for a little bit, and then after that they obviously took it away. I think it was just like, yeah, they did it 2017, 28. No, the
2018. Yes,
2018. Yeah. So after that, they just basically, just took it away and shit. They're like, okay, the West viewership comes from best of ones because of all these other like random logistical things. And then obviously, because people have asked, why don't international tournaments have best of threes in the regular format? Because it would offer some of the best, some of like the Western teams to get more experience against like these international teams. And it's not even just that the wildcard teams are bad in a player sense. Like the players in some of these wildcard teams aren't really that bad. I think you pointed that out too. Like some of these guys I saw could be LCS, LEC caliber players like Starscream, Holy Phoenix. Yeah, like BRTT. Nah, bro. I saw this man grief and run it down for too many tournaments.
I think he's one of those people that like knows that his only way to get into an international event is through Worlds, not through Worlds, is through the Latin America. I don't think
Brazil.
I think someone knows that if he were to go to a different region, he's mediocre at best.
Yeah, because like I've seen him go to international events and just completely run it down. The best one he's been at was the 2015 World Championship when he was on Pain Gaming, obviously, and then he obviously played really well in that tournament. Because I remember back in the 2019 World Championship, he didn't really play that well in that one either. He didn't play good at this Worlds. He legitimately actually ran it down on some of these games. Like there were games where he was actually ahead and then just completely fumbled. I'm like, if you're going to be the big carry that everyone's talking about, then you have to at least know what your actual role is in the game. You can't be randomly flashing forward just to kill an AD carry, but then you're going to die yourself and then you throw the game. Like, because that other AD carry that he would normally flash in and kill for is not ahead. He's just worthless. Like, people need to realize that you putting someone further behind after they're already behind doesn't really do anything. They're just walking bags of gold at that point. Like, it's more better for you to just be safe in a team fight and then obviously, not die. So that's the thing I took away from, most of that, because we have the group stage right here. All right. So, so we had group A, which was RNG, Penton, and not fuck. Sorry, I just woke up, guys. So we have RNG, Pentanet.gg, Unicorns of Love, and this was group A. Every game I saw, RNG was completely destroying these guys.
Remember, no, we didn't this is another year where the VCS, due to their silly country, didn't allow their team to play. So it does matter because I have a feeling VCS might have come out second instead of Pentanet or UOL. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, because like when you're looking at Group A, I was under the same thing. I agree with you. Like, dude, imagine a world where fucking VCS go
It was
and
Gigabyte
they,
Marines.
dude, yeah, the GAM Esports, what are they called, right?
Yeah,
Gigabyte Marines,
Gam.
GAM. Yeah, I'd imagine they just clap Pentanet.gg and Unicorns of Love. These teams are completely terrible. Like, I'm sorry to any Pentanet.gg fans on Twitter because their social media kind of blew up after, finally having Australia, get out of the fucking group stage and shit. Uh, they were not good. They were not good at all. Now that could be because obviously, the region got discombobulated by Riot going into fucking this year and shit. Unicorns of Love were atrocious. Fuck, dude. What do you think about them? Man, fuck.
I think they're a little bit behind the curve. They need to do a better job of knowing the meta, playing like their style is not good. I'm surprised they don't. They're closer to the LEC, so they have access to um scrims with LEC teams. So I'm a little shocked that they're not a little bit better because they are, they could easily go to like I think take a train from where they are or whatever to go play against G2. Well, I don't know about G2, but they could play against some of these better teams. Like, so I'm a little bit confused about that. It's another year where Sheepy he gets to where he wants, but he doesn't really show him out. Now, I don't know if it's the caliber of players, um, because remember a lot of these people play in the major regions for, crazy as it sounds, people, money. Even though NA is a garbage region, guess what? You still gotta pay bills. That's why they come for money.
Yeah,
So
like that was the stupidest narrative I have ever seen people talk about when playing League competitively. Like he's only coming to NA for money. Imagine like needing money to live in the world. I just couldn't imagine it, dude.
yeah, set yourself up for life.
Yeah. Like, and even when the pros are on these teams, they have all their bills paid for, so they're just collecting money. But people need to realize this: just because they're collecting money, obviously they're gonna need that money later on. They're not always gonna be on said team, and they're not always gonna be a pro player though. And you have to have money to live. So I don't know what broke, pussy sensitive motherfucker talking like that. So yeah, get your broke ass out of here with that shit. That's some broke people logic right there. Back in the day when we were younger, they would always say, "Oh yeah, money doesn't buy you happiness." That's what a broke person says. It's exactly what a broke person says.
yeah, I mean, it's true. It does. It's a. You see, the thing is,
money sure buys me everything I want, dude. I'm very happy.
You can't be that naive. You can't be that naive. It does get you a lot, but at the end of the day, you need to find your own like inner happiness or whatever.
Oh, Warren, now you're a prophet. Now you're a fucking messiah or some shit.
so like, I get what the saying is saying.
Yeah.
I get what the term is saying. It's just people can't be naive and be like, I mean, because guess what? Money pays your rent. It pays get your clothes on your body, food on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Your bills, your phone, etc., etc. But like, I think the first group was just
complete
terrible.
garbage. This is just complete garbage. Like, even if the VCS was there, I don't think the quality would have been extremely better because like they would have both been stomping those guys. Like,
well, I think RNG would have lost one game at least.
Yeah, it's very possible. They had close games against Cloud9, Mad Lions, Damwon. Like, it's very possible they lose to VCS. Even PSG Talon beat them a couple times, right? Like, Unicorns of Love were just complete garbage, man. Like, I don't know what that was some of the most atrocious drafting I've ever seen in my life. This guy
I think it was a wake up call.
Should have been a wake up call to not come to MSI, dude. Because like Sheepy ended up saying on Twitter they were like struggling and shit. Obviously, during the split before they even came to MSI 2021, and then you obviously like, wait a minute, a dog shit team like this was struggling and won the CIS? Are you serious? I'm not watching that region. Then you have people telling us Unicorns of Love is a sleeper team. No, your team is a sleeper piece of shit. What? Team is straight up garbage, man.
The UL fans might come out in pink mascots and be out your door soon.
So, as you guys already can see, RNG ended up stopping Group A 8-0. Pentanet.gg ended up 2-6. Factor this in: since this group was this dog shit, a team with a 2-6 record, a 25% win average, got out and went to the next stage. Just let that sink in. Because one other team couldn't make it. That is the most lopsided, shittiest record I've ever seen in my life. So, Satstin brought up, best of ones are trash for competitive integrity, but man, I can't watch a sea of games, especially ones I don't give a fuck about. So, the argument, right, that you're making is sound. You shouldn't have to care about teams or games you don't want to care for. That's perfectly fine. But you have to factor in Mr. Satstin's story. You're not the only guy watching League. Like, a lot of these wildcard teams, despite them being wildcard teams, they have their own fan bases too in their region, and their specific minor region wants to see them play. So that's kind of what I think the Western and Eastern audience needs to understand. These guys have fans too. These guys have viewer bases too. They should get a good amount of screen time to see them on the international stage too. So going on to Group B, we had Mad Lions, PSG Talon, Pain Gaming, and Instable Wildcats. I mean, what did you think about this group, man?
This group was fun to watch. I think Istanbul should have gotten at least another. I think Istanbul should have gotten 3-3 in this group. There's a lot. There's two games. There's two games they should have won. And 2 more games they should have won. Like, their 1-5 record doesn't really do them justice.
Yeah,
they were definitely better than Pain. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Pain was complete garbage. And then you have like people telling us fucking CBLOL's better than the LCS. I mean, whatever crack you want to smoke, buddy, it's up to you, man. I'll just give you it.
Oh man, it's just the EU and narrative. So whatever. I don't care about it anymore.
Yeah, I haven't cared about EU versus NA in like a long time. EU's just better. Like, and if you can't accept that, then you're delusional.
EU just a step better. But look at it again. Like, the thing is, it's like, what I tell people is like, I wish the regions would instead of saying EU versus NA, let's try to say, hey West, why don't we try to be good as a Western region and share your secrets or share your knowledge and work together so that we can be competitive with the East instead of trying to be separate.
Own little rivalry between each other, and now you have nobody really improving. But EU has improved on their own with like their own systems and shit with like EU Masters, but to be fair, that was just G2 and Fnatic, and then at one point it was literally just G2. So
and then look how I mean we'll get to that later, but but this group was
interesting.
PSG leveled up the next week and showed that they belong there, and Istanbul
Wildcats.
It should have been a better record. So like I wish it was different. I wish Pentanet had gone bottom or Istanbul. Like, there's a lot of things I thought that this group was one of the funnest to watch, and then for me, I think Starscreen is probably going to get picked up. Maybe Holy Phoenix too. For sure, Doggo from LPL or LCK.
Doggo should definitely get a team. And the thing with Mad Lions is, I think in this group, before we talk about them later on too, they got all of their kinks worked out against these teams. Because I know people said they played a lot of close games against the quote-unquote wildcard teams like Pain Gaming and Instable Wildcats. That's true, but they didn't lose the games. People need to understand this too. It wasn't like Cloud9 where they were losing the games later on, where they were winning them. They were winning the games, kind of losing it, but they still ended up winning. You can still have really close games against certain teams. Like, these are best of ones at the end of the day. Anything can happen, but you have to win the games though. That's the point of the game, is to obviously win it. And they were at least winning the games they were competitive in, which was fine. And the PSG challenge started coming alive. And then that's where you get Mad Lions finishing the group B 5-1. And then, topping the group also with PSG challenge at 4-2. And then group C, You had Damwon, Kia, Cloud9, Detonation, Focus Me, Infinity Esports. So, like, even just looking at the first game, Cloud9 played up against Damwon. You could obviously tell they weren't playing at the same level they played in North America. And like, I don't get that, dude. I don't get why a team in NA, always a first seed, will play really well here and then either go to an international tournament and then just be completely garbage. Like, but and obviously Cloud9 were completely garbage. They did have some good games later on, or even in this group. But I don't know why it always devolves into that. Like you're not even watching the same team. You're watching some sort of like fucking version of them that you've never even seen. Like are they playing catch up? Are they playing a different style? Are they just coming here to learn? And like, don't let people tell you that excuse either. We're just coming here to learn. Oh, bullshit. That's what you
Uh,
say when you start losing a lot and trying to say some damage control bullshit. What do you think, Warren?
uh, I, I think I don't know. I think it's a mental thing, man. I really starting to believe like it's a mental block because like we like the thing is when these people from other regions come, they play like they played in the LCK or the LPL or even the Leoya from LEC. So I don't know if it's like they're like, well, we're gonna show you guys we're not NA. We're I don't know the different dimension negative zone LCS players. uh,
Like they're
and
trying to like prove people wrong that they can play a certain style. No, just be good at the style you're playing. And like pro players are always talking about, yeah, we don't care what analysts say. We don't care what people say online. If that's so true, then why are you trying to play this weird style that you're not good at? Or like maybe the meta really isn't that, comfortable, for them at international events. But I could say that about any team. You know what I mean? Like it's just always I'm seeing an NA first seed go to an international tournament and they play completely terrible and they don't even try to play the style they even worked on in North America. Like imagine watching a team for like as long as we do during a split for like NA or EU, then watch them go to Worlds or MSI and they completely not play that play style. I'm just thinking to myself like, then what were you really working on then? You know what I mean? Like, what were you really doing then? Because if you don't even believe in the playstyle you're playing in your region, why do you think it would work internationally? It's just beyond me, you know?
yeah, I know what you mean. And the thing is, is that uh, to answer in the chat, sad. It's because he has a hot take. If NA didn't take EU's talent, EU would have. No, no, like because
You can
like
tell he's fucking around.
think. I mean,
He's just
no,
joking.
no.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
2018 Worlds and 2019 Worlds show that that's a hard no. No, thank you. The I like look at the last day for the because we're about to try. Did we start the Detonation Focus Me and that one group?
Yeah, yeah. We're on that one right
Oh,
now.
so yeah, that group. So that group was fun to watch. DFM could have definitely taken another game and make that group interesting, which would have made Cloud9 hard to get out of. Um, and Latin America, they just I don't know. That team was just I don't personally. This goes out to any really minor region that struggle. Riot needs to address these teams need either better resources or something because it's just not fun to watch these. Like it's like literally watching a fifth grader, 11th grade, a fifth grader is fighting a 11th grader. Who do you think is gonna win? But like it's not fun to watch. I don't. I this is not. And this is not hating. It's just not fun to watch, isn't it? Because you feel bad. You don't feel like there's gonna be a competitive match. So like they need to really figure out how to make these minor regions like at least make the game interesting. Let's start with that, right? So
Yeah.
then DFM played really good. Cloud9 stepped it up after the second week.
Hmm.
Now I wish we got the Cloud9 from Group One
Hmm.
uh not group one, the first stage to the next stage, because it seems like that Cloud9 disappeared for some reason.
Well, the Cloud9 from NA just disappeared. You know.
Yeah, yeah, we go 4-2 to
Three
I
and
don't know.
seven. So our combined record of MSI would be so 4-3, 7 wins, and then you had 7 losses, 2 losses. So they went what 7-9, something like that, right?
Yeah, 7-9.
7-9. They went. I mean, but they could say, "Oh, well, we took games of RNG and damn one." Well, congrats, but damn one RNG also moved on to the next round. You know,
Right. They got to the main stage. They showed why they're top teams. So
mm-hmm.
um yeah.
Like even for that group, looking at it, like I mean, because people are gonna bring up, well, didn't Dead Nation Focus Me almost beat Damn One? Guys, like when you're talking about almost winning, you need to win. Like, because people would famously make up narratives for certain shit, right? And they obviously need to realize that like you could almost win a game, and that's good. You can almost beat a really good team, but almost that doesn't put wins on the board. You have to be able to complete and finish up and win the game. I think a lot of people like fucking like it's fine to almost beat a really good team. I'm not saying it's not. The issue here is like
there's a really easy saying: nobody cares about second place.
Hey, man, like the only time people really care about second place is if you legitimately made second in a finals, like where you like. Because I disagree with people when they say like second place doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in certain contexts. Like if you got second place at Worlds or MSIs for like this is just league, right? That matters. But other than that, like, does anybody really like care that like Ignar almost beat SKT back in 2017 Worlds? No, because why are you remembered for something you? Why are players like suddenly remembered for like best of fives and games you lost? Remember, some of these players are legitimately known off series they've lost, which makes like no sense to me at like some point. But after that, Damwon played pretty okay in the group stage. Like, that's something we'll talk about later is Damwon and the LCK, problems that they had. Dead Nation Focus Me and Infinity was just trash. That guy Bugax was going like 0-10 on Gangplank, right? So if you're telling me that team can compete with Cloud9 and Damwon Kia, sure, buddy, whatever. Dead Nation Focus Me. They played okay. Like I do think it might have been a slight overperformance, from this roster because like in week 2 when we were going through play-in stage with this team, they just didn't really show the same competitive drive. Maybe they just started getting figured out. And that's the thing with wildcard teams is that when they pull off a upset, you notice in like the next rounds, they just lose because like the surprise factor's over. I now know how you're going to play. And like people need to understand that though. That's just the nature of best of ones. Like you could see games where Cloud9 end up dropping games to fucking Pentanet. You know what I mean? That's just how it works though. And then now with that over, that's the play-in stage. Now we go to the other group stage, which is, the Rumble stage, which is interesting because, I guess the team you'd probably want to talk about is like Cloud9, right? So let's start with Cloud9. So Cloud9 looks
once you pull it up, of course.
Yeah. So what are your general thoughts about Cloud9 so far at the tournament? Like overall?
I'm doing you on a stream like okay. So that's
you
now that Yeti yawn is out and noises. No, I don't like when you do that.
Drug addict? Holy shit.
Okay, so here's the thing. Why didn't we get the fudge on Aurelia? Remember, I've been preaching that the entire tournament. If you play Aurelia into Nar, you abuse that matchup. If you do it right. We got the fudge that can play, and then Perks comes up and does what he needs to do, and Sven. Sometimes, like, it's okay, older veterans. These older veterans need to understand something. When Tim Duncan for the Spurs, he stayed with one team for years. He knew at a point that I'm just going to be the guy that's the role player now. I'm not saying that Sven and and Perks aren't good players. No, they're great players. They're phenomenal players, right? But at some point, just be like, you're the carry now, and when we get
Mhm,
into a fight, we'll make sure we do our job that we win. And like
mhm.
we got a fudge, we that's the fudge that we saw. Not to say I'm a huge fudge fan. That's not before anybody, because I know Ravioli probably like rolling around in his job
Great.
right now, like saying like, "Oh, I know it, Warren. I know it in your heart. You know you love fudge." That's not. I'm saying the I saw fudge on Camille in LCS. I saw
That
him
was his
on
best
some.
champion. That was
Yeah,
his
I saw
best
him.
champion. He was literally destroying people on it.
Yeah, I saw him on. He had some good Renekton games in LCS. Like, why didn't we get this fudge? Like, and I'm sure this fudge would have won the Pentanat game instead of putting him on a stupid ass tank.
Like, all right, so since we're on Cloud9, because like, why would we talk about Pentanet.gg? Okay, they got one lucky win against Cloud9. Woohoo! Cloud9 drafted like complete animals in that game. There you go, Pentanet. I gave you 5 minutes of screen time. All right, so Cloud9 definitely looked interesting. So they got stomped in relatively like 2 games, right? Cloud9 got stopped against PSG Talon, and they got stopped against Mad Lions, obviously. But they looked good in the Damn One games, the RNG games, the other Mad Lion and PSG Talon games, right? Now, I don't know how to really like extrapolate their performance. They looked good against world class teams in their mid game, but they couldn't close games out. They would overforce on things they don't need to overforce on. Blabbers flashing for scuttle crabs again. And I think we were in the show that sadly ended up getting deleted, or it might have been that one. No, or whatever. Because I think we were talking about, well, could he fix this when they review the VODs? No. I literally saw him do it after they got out of the group in the playing stage. I was like, he's not gonna stop doing this. And I'm not saying it's bad to smite scuttle crabs and steal them and get extra gold and do all these other things, right? That's not the point. He was doing it at shitty times that cost his team the game. That's when it's a problem, obviously. And then with Cloud9, their drafting on certain games was decently suspect. Like against in on the Pentanet.gg day, right? You factor into yourself, okay, we just beat RNG, right? We just took down RNG. Why is Fudge on Scion? Why wouldn't you want to ride that momentum and put him on a carry, him carry a next game? Why is Blabber on Lilia? What? He can barely play Morgana jungle at the tournament, you know? And Blabber also had a really bad tournament. You know, like he looks good domestically, but then, you know, he comes to MSI 2021 and he looked like hot garbage. And I think, you know, hot take, if he doesn't perform at Worlds 2021, if Cloud9 end up making Worlds 2021, I could see him getting replaced. Because you think Perks is going to sit there and watch his jungler just completely games away? Do you really think that? Perks is just going to sit there and watch games just get inted away from him?
I think we're doing what. Okay, so as a TSM fan, this reminds me of how Svenskeren got scapegoated. This is literally night and day of Svenskeren who got scapegoated. Remember when
Oh yeah, I remember
Svenskeren
that.
got?
Yeah.
Remember when Svenskeren like he played relatively decent, but like everything was just on Sven. Oh, Sven did this, like, and then that's why he ended up getting replaced, right? So like
Mhm.
he picked a Lilia pick because that was comfort. I don't have a problem with it. The thing is, like, look at RNG and like
Mad Lions.
RNG Mad Lions. Okay, so yeah, we see Khan play the Scion, and I think he won one game on it in the tournament. I don't, but there's a difference because look who's Khan surrounded. Like Showmaker is better than. Let's not be funny. Showmaker is better than
Yeah,
Perks.
yeah, by
Okay,
a big margin.
Canyon
Like,
is better than Blabber. There's Barrel and is even. That's like basically the bot lane is the most even.
yeah,
Khan is better than Fudge. There's no question about that. So like, let's not. There's a reason why you could do that. Like, but if your style works, stop it. Get some help. Like, play your champions. Like I don't get it. And then like Mad Lions, don't you dare say anything because the only teams you got wins are gone were Pentanet and Cloud9. So that already says to me that you can't beat like because PS. I think they beat. Did they beat PSG one time in
For
the
who?
Rumble stage?
For
I don't
Mad
remember.
they beat them both
Yeah,
times.
they went 1-1. So that was so yeah. Wei is was the best jungler. I'm not definitely not debating that. Um, but PSG only beat Mad Lions only beat one team that was above the 50% in the Rumble stage. So please don't like all you EU fans. This is why the EUNA thing is ridiculous. A PCS region came in third, and you guys were supposed to be at least second or at least second
Mhm.
or third, and you came in fourth. And if Cloud9 had won their games, you might have gotten knocked out.
Yeah,
So
like there's a hypothetical world where if Cloud9 actually don't just grief all their fucking games, there's a good chance they get third. Because like this 3-7 record, people are gonna look at in years to come and go, well, they got 3-7, they must have been a bad team. No, they were like thousands of golds ahead in a lot of their games. Like the RNG game they played the first time where they flipped a Baron for the Nexus, that was a really close game. When Perks was on Lucian against Damwon, that was a really close game. You know what I mean? Even the next game they played against Damwon was super close. Like the games against Damwon were close because Damwon's play style is kind of a little bit counteractive to a lot of these other teams. And then you have like fucking, there's gonna be EU fans that say, well, we got out and they didn't. True. I mean, I guess, but when you look at the whole context of the situation, like it's just something that most fans don't look at. They just look at records. You know what I mean?
right.
But
No, I was just saying right.
mm-hmm. And then the other thing is, so what do you take away from Cloud9 when they're going back to like
Uh,
North America?
they
Because
have put I think I don't want to put words in Kafka's mouth but in regards to what Kafka says, play the style that works for you. Put Blabber on aggressive, play towards top side, put Perks on a playmaking champ. Like just put a, there's a reason why Zhao Hu didn't play one Scion game. I don't think he played one tank this tournament. He played Gragas, Gnar, Jace,
yeah,
and Lee. Like he basically played those champions. I'm sure you could pull it up if you wanted to. It's not really needed. I and then
Sassen says pretty sure Karzi said in an interview that half of the team was trolling and half of the team was tryharding in the C9 game. That sounds like
yeah.
damage control to me, buddy.
Okay, buddy. That sounds like PR. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah,
That sounds like really good PR.
not like you're lying, Satsin. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like a lot of pros say that though. They're like, "Well, we weren't really trying." They all try. I never believe that when they're talking like that. That sounds like some horse shit. Yeah, we just don't try on international games though. We just troll. What? I love Carzy, man. That guy's funny as hell. But if you're Cloud9, I think it's not all doom and gloom. You looked good against world-class teams. Take that and go, okay, how do we refine that and go, okay, let's fix this? Because in Cloud9's head, when they're thinking like, okay, if the game plays out exactly as we're thinking, it's going to win. But they're not thinking about how RNG and Damwon, like world-class teams, are going to fucking, respond to that. They're not going to respond like CLG and fucking FlyQuest to a situation like that. They're going to be playing it out a lot more differently, a lot more effectively, and that's the reason why you get to that point, obviously. But if you're Cloud9, it's not all doom and gloom. Yeah, they didn't get out. It sucks. But if you look at the actual gameplay, there's hope for them. So coming into Worlds 2021 with this roster, things could be a whole lot different if they make Worlds 2021. Now, the other big surprise, obviously, was Warren's prediction earlier on in a other episode, which was PSG Talon obviously making it out. They looked really good too. Like Hanabi is complete garbage, but you know what? If you're gonna be king of the weak side, that's fine. That's all you need to do for your team to win. You know what? Fuck it.
You're
Just
racist.
fuck it. What did I do?
He's
Like-
just complete garbage.
It's literally hot garbage, man. But hey, Maple proving why he's still a world-class player. Literally comes back to the PCS and gets PSG talent into the knockout stage. You know what's also crazy about Maple is every single time he's been at MSI, he's never been to a final. He's pretty much like been top 4. He's never been to a final. Colin's never won an MSI going. Like, that's crazy, dude,
There's a
to
lot
think
of story.
about. Mad Lions. Mad Lions, they got better as the tournament progressed, which is a good thing for this roster. Like, I even said this in previous episodes. Like, they were playing better than Cloud9, though. Like, I liked Cloud9, obviously. They played okay in certain games, but, like, Mad Lions were just playing better every single game. Like, Mad Lions were improving, whereas Cloud9 did the opposite. And I think that, you know, when it comes to people saying all these players have nerves, you know, they just choke on the big stages, excuses. Aloye, Wei, Canyon, also Aloye and Wei and River, all their first international events. They all, well, no, River's been to some at Worlds. So let's just say Aloye and Wei, their first international events, they played just fine with bigger regions in League with a lot more expectations, though. I get, you know, players could have a lot of expectations, you know, for the players, but like Aloye played just fine out of his mind, actually. And then you had fucking Wei playing out of his mind. So no excuses for Blabber to play like that. Like, just people need to stop making excuses like that. That is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Because if you're saying, oh well, he had nerves, that's he choked. That's fine, but it doesn't excuse the bad gameplay. You know. But yeah, that was pretty much it for the Rumble stage, and then now we move on to RNG versus PSG. You know, obviously, I think I said 3-0. It was 3-1. Doggo looked absolutely amazing. That's the biggest takeaway from this. Kaiwing looked pretty good on Leona in one of the games, but like I knew they were going to get figured out by playing RNG. I knew their little style of what they were playing at best of ones wasn't going to work out against a team like this, and that's kind of the reason why I said 3-0. They got one game, sure, whatever, one game off. Now, against Damwon and Mad Lions, though, hey man, do you remember an EU team that was up against a Korean team at one point, and then they do a stupid dive, and then they kind of lose the game in a crucial game 4?
Oh yeah, that.
Oh
We're talking
yeah,
about MSF.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember, in game 4 of this best of 5, like Mad Lions are winning, like they're hard gapping that bot lane by themselves, Karzi and Kaiser, right? And then they don't keep track of Showmaker's TP, and then they get TP'd on, and they lose the game. Damwon just runs away with it, and the next game they play against Damwon in game 5, they run away with that one. Like, what is, dude? What is it with like some of these teams? Not even just EU teams. What is with teams being in great positions to win and then just fucking throwing it? They literally could have won that game if they just kept track of Showmaker's TP, if they could have just kept track of where he was coming, and Aloya was just getting out-jungled by Canyon. It's like, dude, you're 2-1 up, you're winning the game, calm down, you can just win the game out just fine. No, we want to just dive bot lane almost between 2 tier 2s, get TP'd on, and lose. Now, I will say this for context reasons. Humanoid was getting completely gapped by Showmaker. Everybody gets gapped by Showmaker. That's just how it works. You know what I mean? Everybody gets gapped by Showmaker. That guy's fucking insane, obviously. You know? But Mad Lions, there's a real identical world where they literally could have won this series. Like, and I get why Karzi feels that way, because if they had just calmed down in game 4, there's a good realistic chance that they obviously beat them. It was literally like that. There's just a few more factors that didn't play into their victory because they were 2-1 up. They were legitimately doing very well. They were doing what Cloud9 were doing to Damwon. They were winning the early game. And then instead of like Cloud9 losing, they translated that into wins. Now, what do you take away from this best of 5?
Whoa. Let me answer this comment. Okay.
There's a comment? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. So
C9 did not fail NA. C9 could have beaten Mad and went on. They beat all the best teams of the best region.
Go. I'm sorry.
Which other NA teams has done it before? So Warren, stop acting big and see what they achieved.
Okay, first off, what did they achieve? Beating teams in a group stage? That's not. Other teams beat teams in this group stage. Getting to a semifinal or quarterfinal awards, that's achieving. this team was perceived probably to be one of the best teams to ever go to an international stage. Period. Point blank. No one can debate that. You have Perks, you have Sven, you have Vulcan, Blabber. Fudge was the only question mark, which is ironic because Fudge was the best performing at the tournament for Cloud9.
We're
There's some
crazy.
games where the other top player gapped him. Like I remember when he was played the Malphite game and he got gapped by a lot of CS but they didn't give Khan his praise, which he kind of did get gapped. But like
Was
this
that a Malphite
whole
into Gnar matchup?
yeah, it was a Malphite matchup that he
That's
played.
what you. Yeah, yeah.
So, oh yeah, I am TSM worm, but I'm not. I listen. I'm gonna tell you something. LEC Korean Corlana
LEC Kurilana. Oh, hi.
Corlana.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I want my NA teams to do good. I am embarrassed though when we don't get out anything, and then I got to deal with in chat. NA sucks. You take our players. Yeah, it's embarrassing when you spend the year before, what was it, 1 million on what's it called, Vulcan. Then you spend another 6 million on perks just to get 3 and 7. Like at some point, and I put this on. I had this on my Twitter. At some point, we need to stop with this wait and see nonsense. We're not a minor region. We're a major region. This wait and see nonsense needs to get put in the back, and like people need to be they I hope to God Jack choose them out when he comes back. I hope so, because I think, because like there was times I saw Perks laughing. Yeah, he's laughing because he's getting his 2 million, like
Dude,
his
you know
his
what's funny?
salary paid. He don't give a fuck.
Perks make
Me as a
Perks
fan
makes
care.
more. Perks most likely, and not probably not even debatable. Maybe outside of RNG because China pays a lot of money. Let's take like China out of it, right? Take RNG out of it. Perks probably made more than every single player at that tournament. Perks by himself, because like we know contracts and LPL are fucking insane, right? So
Right.
Perks made more than Damwon, who was in the finals. Perks makes more than Mad Lions, who are in the knockout stage. Perks probably makes more than all of the players in PSG Talent who are in the knockout stage. That is crazy to think about. And there's another side to it where people are going to be like, well, he gets paid a lot of money, so it should translate into wins. Not necessarily. That's just paychecks. That's what just paying a player. But when I'm buying Perks and Vulcan and Sven and Blabber and Fudge, I expect to get out of groups like to the knockout stage at least. Like I know people had their hot takes saying, "Oh, Cloud9 could have won Worlds," and like, not Worlds. Cloud9 could have won, or sorry, yeah, could have won MSI. I don't think that. I mean, you must have not been watching RNG and damn want to think that, because like most people from the West say those things or as hot takes because they don't watch LPL and LCK. And that's fine if you don't watch them. That's fine, but don't just say you have to watch these teams and accurately give me a reason why they win. I'm not just gonna blindly, as a fan, go like Cloud9 are gonna win MSI. Not happening. I didn't do that at this tournament. I've never been like that, and I'm still not gonna do that. That's just completely delusion. I know I agree with you. People need to kind of stop making excuses for those kind of things. They need to just refine what works for them, and they need to obviously work on that. Like it's good. You can almost beat Damwon in RNG. That's great. Take that, realize what you did wrong, and then fix it when you face them again. So at Worlds 2021, I should expect them to beat these teams or different Korean and LPL teams now. But the problem here is that those Korean and LPL teams are going to play differently from Damwon and RNG. Like if you want to watch the LPL, EDG was the best team. You watched the LPL, dude. EDG was the best team. They should have been MSI.
FPX would. I guarantee FPX would have slop or knocker a lot of these teams.
I mean,
Like let's
FPX with a 3-0 Damwon. They would have cleaned them up.
let's stop it. Like let's stop. And I understand what you mean by what they achieve. LEC Korea Lana. Like I get what you mean. Like oh yeah, like they beat them, but like we're a major region. We're not Japan. We're not the other teams.
Hi, Mr. Fabio.
Yeah, like I'm happy that LCK and LPL got 4 teams now for Worlds because they deserve it. I'm glad they took away. I think because I think that means they take away one of our slots from. I think they take away a slot from one of the teams or something like that.
Oh God.
I'm not sure if we get to send 3 teams now, but like enough is enough. Like I get it. And then the next thing is, well, we'll see. I guarantee we're gonna see them at Worlds. That's where they're gonna show up. So I'm gonna hear this song and dance for the next 5 years of my life or 20. Oh yeah, maybe CLG next time they're gonna do it. They're gonna no focus. Like come on, like EU's on an upward trajectory. They took as much as they performed bad in the knockout stages, they at least got to semifinals and took Damwon to a best of 5.
He's a
You
rookie
can
team
barely
too.
say that.
There's
They're
two
they're
rookies on.
consistently
Well,
getting a
one
team.
rookie. There was one rookie on the team because people say Armut's a rookie. No, he played splits before. He's
been
not
on Royal Bandits and Royal Youth, and he's been on Supermassive.
Other TCL teams, right? He's won TCL splits. He's not a rookie. He's did well. It's just that they took a rookie player, and that rookie player played better than Blabber, who have been playing since 2018. Like, it's not about money. It's just about how the players perceive the game. But Mr. Fabio 137, nice to meet you, man. EU is not only G2 anymore, but taking out the G2 players, most of them don't int, especially. So I can see why some teams throw leads. What I don't get is how teams like Damwon do it. It just happens, man. Like, that's just the nature of League. Like, you can see the best teams in the world throw games. It's like it just should be uncommon for teams like that to do it, you know? Saxon Story says top lane at MSI was whack. Top lane was probably the worst role in terms of talent.
I don't know that about that.
I mean, I think they overperformed to expectations though, because Khan
what
looked
lines
better
do you
than
have on your table right
Fudge, I think, played fine. Khan played better than what I was going to give him credit for. Xiaohu definitely showed up to a certain extent. Hanabi, I'm not talking about that guy. But Mr. Fabio, C9 did fail. CLG 2016 and TLN 2019 really showed up, but NA is behind all other three, and the latest international results don't help. The only main reason for NA being a major reason is money in it. Also because, it's based in here. Riot NA created the game. Like, as much as I like NA, it's fun to watch NA, despite how dog shit it is during these splits. Like, it's fun. But, when it's fun, don't expect that to be competitive worlds material, because from watching the games, they're not gonna beat these world-class teams. Like first class, like our first seeds, they're okay, decent teams, but these NA first seeds would be like 6th place teams in LCK and LPL. In an LPL, they'd probably be 18th place. So I'm just saying, what do you think, Warren?
I think well, my thing is, what I took out of this second knockout stage is that we need to figure out, like, the games. This happens every year. I knew it. I knew when I saw that Pentanet game. I knew that every game, literally, anyone in chat could do this. Find a game where NA should technically beat the team. They don't. When they needed to beat MSF, they lost. When I think TL needed to beat one team, they lost. I think it was against Machi to get out of the group. Every time it comes on this one game, and it's you shouldn't even be in that scenario. That's not good. There's no way that's good. So I think when they go back, they really need to figure out what can we. I wish the orgs, instead of trying to see what players they can get, they need to figure out how to make the region better as a whole, so that when we go to these international events, we make sure we beat a game like Pentanet. When RNG went against Pentanet, they always dumpstered them. They didn't make them win one game.
They actually just eviscerated them every
that's
game.
How you're supposed to. That shows the sign of a top tier region. They made sure, you know what, you're not even getting close to winning against this Pentanet, and they won their games that should be 20-minute, 25-minute games at best, and they did. That's what Cloud9 should have done.
Also, guys, make sure if you're here, you like the stream. Like the stream, please. It always greatly appreciate it. And if you're new here, then please subscribe. Please subscribe. It definitely helps out. I would love to have all you guys back here for more streams. We generally stream every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. PST. But if you're here right now, we are streaming later on because I have to make up for a show that I deleted later on. Because I told Warren, if you guys are just getting here, we're going to do a video dedicated to this. But, since I kind of fucked myself over, I might as well just do it as a stream anyway. Because it would have been an hour-long video anyway with, editing and shit. So, might as well just do it this way.
Oh, here we go. Nickname, Mr. No No substance,
Warren,
no
calm
nothing.
down.
I'm not even gonna bother answering you because you provide
Warren, be
no.
nice. Play nice.
I'm not playing. I am playing nice. I have no problem in admitting NA's shortcomings and everything. But if you're not gonna contribute in any sort of fashion that is productive for any region, because I'm sure LCK is gonna. I don't know if you guys saw, but Showmaker looked like he was about to do a faker and start breaking down, because you could tell that guy really was trying to win. He really was trying to win, and he really brought it down. Really gave it his all.
You know what Ella
Um.
said? Now he knows what Chovy feels like carrying 4 corpses. It's true.
So,
Like, dude, the way Showmaker was playing, because I know you guys were talking about Victor and like the other like shows we did. Dude, every time Showmaker had Victor, he showed you why that champion should be. That guy's Chaos Storms were fucking insane. That guy played Victor like a god. I don't know. Like, I get it. When you see Victor in like bad teams' hands, it looked worse. Every time Shoemaker got Victor, he was clapping people. You know, it's not the champion, it's the player that works the champion. Fabio says, I think by now teams like C9 and TL should be really going deep in tourneys, not getting out before big games. And that's true though. Like I know people, didn't like TL because they bought a money roster, whatever fuck that's supposed to mean. But TL pulled off one of the biggest upsets in League of Legends history, potentially, defeating IG in that knockout stage. You know what I mean? Like, it's very possible to do it. It's all about mentality. And like, even Fudge talked about it too. He did really well at MSI, but it's because he took the nameplates off the players though. League is a mental game. Like, moving your hands on the keyboard is just, that's secondary duty sometimes. Because if you have nice confidence and you think you can win, you'll play a lot more better. Nobody predicted Fudge to do well as he did. Like, I sure didn't. I'm just being honest here. There were some games he played better than Xiaohu. He played better than Armin in some games. And he also played better than Khan in some games. Now, was he just mechanically better than them? No, we saw this in lane. He was still losing. The issue here was that he had a nice mental, and he was like, okay, I'm going to get myself through the laning phase, and I'm going to get myself to the next part of the game where I can be useful for my team. Like, Showmaker is the same thing. Showmaker had the exact same. People were like going, Showmaker's not that good because of the LCK.
Nickname, I actually said something that I can actually agree with and not spew hot vomit out of his asshole.
Like, people were like, well, Showmaker he has to play in the LCK, and the LCK's mids weren't that good this split. Do you watch these games?
No, the LCK is literally Damwon and Genji. Like, literally, if you look at the region, it's
T1 did get better till the very end. I'll give them credit for that. They did get a little bit better. When they had a solidified roster, you saw it coming together, but it's too late at that point. Like, fuck, your season's over, dude. But no, I do agree with you. Like, randomly, LCK lately has just been like one team, because Gen G, dude. And I like Gen G, man, but what is wrong with them, dude? What is wrong with Gen G, man?
I don't know.
They just keep fucking choking. And then, so after that, obviously, you have Mad Lions losing to Damwon Kia. What did you think about RNG versus Damwon? Because that was an amazing best of 5. Now, I'm going to pull up a draft. I'm going to pull up a draft from Game 5. And my God, this drafting was literally done by 3 dogs, 2 cats, and a frog, because that shit looked terrible.
Oh, while you're pulling that up, Stetson story, I am okay. I agree with the Fudge over Arma, but Khan played I would say Khan was I would put, if I had to put rankings, it was Xiaohu, Khan, Fudge, Arma, and then the rest doesn't matter. Khan is getting so much flack, and I'm not even an LCK fan. This guy played really good.
He played really well.
That
Aatrox game. That Aatrox game was insane.
And I know, and it's not you. By the way, I know it's not you. I'm just saying he's got so much flack for someone that, think about it this way. He's gone to, every time he's been on an LCK team, he's gone to an MSI. Think about that. Like,
that's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, every time he's been on an LCK team, he's been to an MSI. So we're gonna see him at Worlds most likely. He's performed like great, and I know Showmaker ironically is stealing the show in a sense, right? But like Khan gets, I feel like if there's anyone that gets more vilified or more like scrutiny, is that guy. That guy actually plays out of his mind, and it's still not good enough. That's what's bonkers to me.
Like this is the like I'm not trying to say I'm some sort of like draft expert, but this is one of the worst drafts I've ever seen in my life. Did Demon just did Como just give up? Look at this. Okay, why did they blind pick Aatrox and fucking Jace into Gragas and Nocturne? Good enough. That tells me they don't want to win that
Jace,
shit.
okay, so I'm okay with the Aatrox pick, and it's just I think you needed. I would have taken like you needed like a Zaya. I would have put like a Zaya. I'm not sure if Jinx was available because if you needed like a Zaya because I think Varus towards the late game is a little bit weaker because of the poke. The Jace pick didn't make sense because the thing is right if you have Rumble and you have like you see I'm okay if you did like Ash into with because now Ash has a long range arrow and that can hit like like more multiple people which can line up the Rumble ult, which means a good shock blast. So I don't know like I think it's like um they needed like even heck it might sound funny even a set mid might have worked because you have setup ability, you have dive ability. um I just didn't agree with the Jace and the Varus.
Yeah,
The others
dude.
is fine. Aatrox is
Ghost
always a
like
blindable pick. He
picking
does okay in the
Varus
Gragas.
picking Varus implies that Ghost and Beryl are going to be obviously hard winning the 2v2 against Leona because against Leona, Tom Kinch just eats the ADC. So all of Leona's CC is pretty much nullified. And you're giving Ghost Varus. Ghost and Beryl, despite playing really well in team fights for Ghost and Beryl were getting hard gapped in a lot of games at the tournament. Like Cloud9, Mad Lions, PSG Challenge, RNG. So there's no way possible. You would think you do not give them Varus and Tom Kinch. And like, I get it might look like a decent composition in theory, but you gotta look at the players themselves. Ghost and Beryl are good in team fighting. Laning phase, it's so amazing how they have Showmaker as their mid laner because imagine if they had a fucking mid laner like UCal and shit. Would you pick Varus and Tom Kinch if they had a mid laner like UCal? No. They were not you're able to perform well in team fights based on your mid laner and your jungler getting you there. They weren't getting leads on their own. They literally were getting gapped. I saw them getting gapped a lot. I get there were probably games they won. Sure, that happens anyway. But overall, they were like not a traditional great performing LCK bot lane, which is insane, right? And also going into this best of 5 with RNG, a lot of people thought that Crying was just going to get like hard stopped by Showmaker. Crying, he's actually pretty solid of a mid laner. He's just not as, let's say, flashy as Showmaker, if that's the word I'll use for that, But he played his role really well. He was the team player. He picked Ryze. He picked he picked Ryze 2 games, did he not? Yeah, he picked Ryze 2 games. Orianna, the first game.
He played
Lucian. Yeah, like he's the team player who can also carry games. He's not just a role player. So when I heard people on Reddit going, well, he's not as good as Shellmaker. I mean, obviously.
Of course, that's stupid. That's like saying
What? That's like saying Warren, you play for the fucking New York Nets. Well, Warren's not as good as LeBron James. Of course not. That is literally by default. You're not going to be better. What?
Yeah, that's like saying is Kyrie Irving's not better than of course he's not better than LeBron James. That's silly. Stop. You're a fool.
I hate people who make up those stupid fucking one-line intangibles. Like, oh, well, Perch is not as good as Showmaker. No fucking shit. Now you gotta tell me that water is wet, probably. What? No, obviously. But as long as they play the role for their team that they need to play, that's where you win. And that's one of the reasons why RNG won. Yes, Showmaker is better, and he played better in a lot of the games, but Crying was the playmaker and the role maker that RNG needed. Wei played really well. Xiaohu played really well. This was a really great best of 5. If you take out Game 5, where they literally got hard stomped for Damwon, this was a great best of 5. RNG are up 2-1 at a certain point. Damwon team fought really well. Like, Damwon's really big strength is their team fighting, which is really good. Like, you have Ghost over getting pentakills and shit, like playing Tristana like a damn god. Like, and that's why it's so sad for them to lose, because even though they did have a rough tournament, quote unquote, they did play really well in a lot of the games, and it's like you would have loved to see them go from winning LCK Worlds, LCK to winning MSI. They would have had all of the trophies, for like League of Legends, domestic splits, and both international trophies though. That'd be crazy, right? But
Yeah.
But now, nope. You just have RNG. RNG ends up winning against DK. RNG, like with SKT, dude, I was so glad I predicted RNG. Like, during the tournament, there was no way I was thinking RNG would lose. It's like, I told my friend the day before, I'm like, I don't see a world where RNG lose to them. I get Damwon are good. I just don't see a world where RNG lose. And luckily I know Ravioli yesterday was like, well, it was a best of 5. I understand that. But if you're looking at the game in a contextual form, and you're looking at how these teams played throughout the tournament, you would assume it's literally RNG was better, And like, what did you think about Canyon at this tournament? Did you like what he had showed, actually, outside of Rumble? Because Rumble was.
I think Canyon played fine. I think it was a lot of draft and just how they played. I don't want to be on the Xiaohu
hype train,
Xiaohu Dong Wanka train, but
you don't like BTS, Warren. It's okay.
I think he showed why top lane is an important role. He literally, I wish you could bring up the clips. There's like one where he does a cask that literally separates the group and won them the fight. Like, he did some monster cask, some great engages, and his Lee Sin was actually pretty good for a guy now. And that's crazy to go from mid lane, right? Because, like, think about who he was playing against even after he left. He was playing against the likes of Faker and Caps and Humanoid and Rookie at these tournaments. Like, he was I would still have put him a top 10, a top 20, top 10, I'll say top 10 mid laner in the world. Like, he left a position that was pretty much the glorified position for most people that like League.
He's the only player to win MSI in 2 different roles, mid and top,
which shows how important those roles are. If you look at that, I think the series was fun. I felt bad for Showmaker, because like at the end you see him holding his head, like he kind of did a reckless, not cry, but like you can tell that he really wanted to bring an MSI back to LCK. But I think they learned a lot. See now, this is what I mean about learning a lot. They learned a lot in a final. They didn't learn a lot in a group stage, and now they're sitting on a couch. That's what I mean about the learning a lot, and like saying they achieved that. Like, I'm okay to hang if I'm a Damwon fan. I'm okay to hang my head up. We played our hearts out. We took it to a best of 5. We made it to the final. We lost to the tournament favorite, right? Like, I don't think anyone.
I think people need to like stop being harsh on themselves for getting second place in League. Like, literally, if you played a great best of 5, you got to the final, you made it exciting, and you learned a lot. It's not always about a trophy, though. Like, some people just need to learn that if you got something out of it and you are a better player because of it, that's good enough. You know what I mean? It's not always about a trophy, because like Tom Brady has a ton of trophies, right? But not all trophies are created equally anyway, though. And then years later on down the line, people are like, well, the MSI doesn't matter because of the competition. Shit, anyways, like, because I'm being honest with you, this was like the second worst MSI I've ever seen, outside of probably like, I don't know, 2017 MSI. This is like probably the second worst MSI. I've just been honest. Like, 2015, pretty exciting. 2016, pretty exciting. 2017 was legitimate dog shit. 2018 was exciting for MSI. 2019 was exciting. And 2021 is arguably second worst, because 2017 was some dog shit. That shit was awful. But now looking at RNG, they now win MSI 2021. They are the second 2-time MSI champions outside of SKT, who won it back in 2016 and 2017. Do you think RNG is going to be a really strong team going into the LPL for their summer 2021 split?
I think they took a lot from the EU, watching EU play and watching some NA stuff. I think they're gonna take that back, like, cause they like we saw at certain times they banned like Nocturne out and those kind of weird wonky picks. I think I think they it's funny. Yahoo has a small champion pool, yet they didn't exploit it, which I found hilarious.
Yeah, like you could. The thing with this tournament, which is what I really got, not say triggered by. There's a lot of games where these players could literally just get exposed for like some of the bad shit they're doing, and they just didn't. So I'm just kind of curious to see when they go back to their own region, are they going to get exposed to their weaknesses? You know, that's just kind of the thing I see. The other things to cover today, since MSI 2020 was over, C9 failed NA. I mean, they did. That's not really debatable. They did kind of fail North America, but then again, it's just for the right now. Let's kind of see, how well they can perform in LCS, and then take that to Worlds 2021 if they make it. We have the other last bit of news, which is Adam joins Fnatic. Actually, if you're a Fnatic fan, we had that big situation of Self-Made talking on Discord about Fnatic's management and stuff like that. They just released Self-Made today, and they actually have some news for Fnatic as well. Actually, if I can bring it up, right here. Okay, let me make my screen bigger, and that's what she said, obviously. Okay, so Fnatic announced today that they obviously parted ways with Self-Made, and as a part of our offseason plans, we are proud to welcome back to the Black and Orange strategic coach Saved. Full announcement video and interview with Whipple on his playstyle, the upcoming split, and role swapping to the jungle. Okay? So they announced that something we already knew was going to happen. Whipple moving to jungle.
They're saving money. Okay.
and now Self-Made strong personality and dominating playstyle has earned him a place in the heart of all Fnatic League of Legends fans, and he will always be an important part of our LOL journey. They finally announced thank you Self-Made. Yesterday, when Fnatic announced they were getting Adam, Self-Made in their Twitter feed was like, hey, announce my announcement video of me leaving. Thank God, dude. These people are fucking crazy. And then if you go to LEC Wulo's Twitter, so I know people think this guy is like a joking shit. He's actually on a lot of stuff right recently, so he's not some joke, I've actually used some of the stuff during some videos, and it came out true. So right here, you have some more of their conversation from Discord, where Self-Made says, the reality is we wanted to continue with the same roster, but Bwipo, but Fnatic took Adam and told him to jungle or leave. That's crazy.
What does that mean? Maybe I'm stupid. What is that? Why? So if Bwipo, basically, if he didn't take jungle, that Bwipo would have to leave.
Yeah, they told him to either leave or play in the woods.
That's kind of messed up, then.
Well, I mean, because Bwipo always goes to the Fnatic management, and he's always like, "Hey, I think I'm one of the best players in my region, and I'll go to management. I think if we need a change, it's like." That could be a double-edged sword too. The Self-Made says right here, they basically put Bwipo in a situation to decide who's going to be out. Meanwhile, people are writing how I apparently CBAD in Fnatic XD. People will always write, how cringe is that? That's kind of fucked up. I don't mind if it goes on Reddit or whatever. We would have spoken about it sooner or later. Okay?
So that's what I like about a player that...
Well, Sam Matthews actually replied to him. The actual Fnatic owner replied to him. So let's see what he says. Think logically. You have 2 out of 5 players committed long-term, 1 split left. What do you do? Of course, we will take some tough decisions. Fnatic is here to win it all, and we want players committed to do the same. He also followed up by saying, and of course, a player didn't make any form of decision people are insinuating. Hi, Ashley.
Hey.
So, I don't know, man. This is how League of Legends works, man. It's just how all this shit works over here. You know what I mean? Shit's always getting fucked up. Or, I mean, people always, dude, I think you said this a while too, like, for like certain Fnatic fans, they just can't believe that their org would do these kind of things. I'm not saying they do, But I'm saying, like, don't just assume they don't do these things because you like them. That's not how that works, though. And then Sophie said right here, there was more shit I could talk about and create more drama, but that wasn't even the point in the first place. Every player lies for attention after leaving Fnatic, right? Oh, shit. Don't get me wrong. I don't have anything against Fnatic, but this offseason was handled very poorly. I'm not mad or anything because I knew 5 minutes after we lost to Schalke, there were going to be changes. And what I said is what I heard during the call last day. That's crazy, man. That is absolutely insane, you know? Like, what else do you guys think is going to happen with Fnatic? Because I don't know if these roster changes will really put them in a top
This is a
position to win.
rebuild. This sounds like a rebuild stage. If so, we don't know who this Adam guy is. We don't know how Bippo's gonna play. If they don't make playoffs, it's a rebuild stage. If they just make playoffs, then they overperform.
Like, is there a world they get? There's no world. I don't really see them finishing anything like around 5th place, maybe. Like I don't know. I just don't see them really.
I see them 6th,
5th, maybe. Like, I just don't know, dude. Like, I don't know how to feel about their new roster. Adam, Whipple, Jungle, Niski, Upset, Hill saying, Dracos was saying, oh yeah, Niski was definitely top 5. I mean, okay, I don't know. Okay. Like, Larson, Humanoid, Caps, all completely better. You know, I mean, if we're talking about in EU for EU mids right now, I mean, I guess Leader's going to be on Vitality, and Leader hard mechanically is better than Niski. And I don't know. Like,
wait, Fnatic, Leader's going to Vitality? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Selfman and Leader are going to be on Vitality. It's going to be SLT, Selfmade.
So they got rid of Shekelat?
No. Shekelat was the mid laner for Excel.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They got rid of Shigenda.
Melita.
They made sure to get rid of that guy. That guy was hard running it down. Can Fnatic beat Vitality? It's possible. Upset and Hillsing are still a really good bot lane, but you know, like, you can't carry through the bot lane like how you used to do back in the day for like the game. Like, I just don't know in terms of, yeah, I'm not, like, I agree with that. Like, top 5 doesn't win you shit. Being top 5 is nothing. So when I hear people go like, Niski's top 5 in the LEC, does that win you titles? No. So what does that mean? And I like Niski. I met the guy. I think he's a pretty cool guy. Like, he's great, a fantastic player too. But Niski in LEC is not going to be winning anything. Sorry to break it to you. That's not how that works, because there's just way better players though, you know? And when you're looking at Bwipo, like, and Adam, like, what is he going to be telling Adam? He's going to be coaching Adam while he's playing jungle. Like, when you roll, I did this in League of Legends too. I've role swap between being a support main, top lane, ADC main, or whatever, right? Generally, when someone role swaps, they think they could just do that role better than the person, right? That's generally the mindset. Oh, I could just do it better because this guy just inting me, right? Okay, right? Okay, but and I disagree with people when they were like, oh, I don't like Selfmade's attitude and he's gonna, like, Bwipo will be better. Bullshit. Selfmade mechanically is gonna, like, destroy Bwipo in the jungle. Like, there's no world I see Bwipo beating Selfmade unless Bwipo gets completely lucky. That guy will have to literally get lucky in games to beat Selfmade. Selfmade is insane. I don't care if he had a bad split. It really doesn't matter. That guy is legitimately a great jungler. So even when they're facing other junglers, like, is Bwipo going to automatically be better as a jungler than other junglers who have been doing this for a very long time? I don't know. This is just a coin flip. And he might be just running his contract out because they didn't decide to renew their contract, you know?
Well, the thing is like, if you had to switch a role, top to jungle is probably the easiest way to switch.
That's true.
Now, when it comes to, I don't know who. I mean, let's not use LCS, right? The real role swapping started with perks, right? And we've seen how that's like Genax took a while to adjust to top lane, but even then.
Thank you, Ashley. Ashley donated $10 in the Cash App. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Ashley. Genax was a mid laner and became a top laner. Perks played ADC. Xiaohu went from mid to top. It can happen, but it all depends on how the player and how the team. I think the team for RNG, they play around, for instance, Xiaohu's champion pool. That's why they're successful. It's how so now it comes down to the champion pool or how the meta goes, how well Whippo plays too, because we don't know what's gonna happen with patches upcoming for going into World, going for the summer split and all that. Because it's gonna be all about like 2-3 patches, and then
Yeah.
they're gonna stay on one before and the thing is a Worlds. There's 2 patches and then there's a Worlds patch, right?
Mhm.
So then like we need to see how that meta develops. So it comes down to the champion pool. It comes down to how they play around that player. I Whippo is a very um, when I watch the streams, very calculating how he does everything and he explains everything. Um, so this could be like a success.
Rookie top, build jungle, top 5 mid, Fnatic is done.
That's very true, Fabio. I'm not even gonna lie.
Nope, I have to I have to just agree. Like even with Schalke too. Like I'm just because we're ragging out Fnatic, Schalke's the same way. Schalke's over here replacing Gilius, and I mean you had to replace
No,
Abadagi.
Kira is actually very, very good.
He's actually good too. But you also have Nuclear and who's going to be a rookie in the mid lane too. It's like, I mean, changing out your mid laner mid split. I mean, obviously money issues, right? But if you take just money issues out of it, that's going to be really, really tough to kind of build synergy between a mid and jungle, which is supposed to be one of the most vital duos in the game, you know? That's my issue. And it's like, people say, well, teams like Misfits have Vethio and they could get better. All right, I believe it when I see it. I'm just saying that. I believe it when I see it. Gives a fuck about Excel, Vitality, fucking all these other little shitty orgs in EU. I'll believe it when I see it. Okay?
MSF is not a shitty org. They're a pretty big org. They when it comes to the money department, because of their other teams. Once we do the rundown, once we do all the off-season rundowns, we can have a better assessment and come up with power rankings and all that stuff. Because there's a lot of trade deadlines that haven't even been met yet, and there's still time for team orgs to make.
Who do you think? Like top 3 is Mad, Rogue, and G2, right? Mad, Rogue, G2. Fourth, who's fourth? SK? No.
I hold on. Let me look. I don't want to assume.
Vitality's top 4? Probably not. Hey man, if they get top 4, that'd be crazy. Like top 3 is stacked. Mad Lions, Rogue, and G2. Yeah, that's top 3. And I think Fnatic is probably around like 4th place. They have to be between 4th and 5th.
Yeah, it's Mad Lions, G2, Rogue. It depends. If SK can figure out stuff, I think they are top 4.
Oh shit! From 10th to fucking 4th. That is a leap. That is a leap. Like, I also want Misfits to do well too. They have Vander and fucking Kabe. Who else? Like Razork. These are some good players they have, but they just can't seem to get it together.
We saw Magic Felix step up as the season went past. I'm glad he left Fnatic. No offense to you Fnatic fans, but I think he's gonna have. I think they see a lot of potential in the guy. So,
yeah. Hopefully, if SK is not top 4, if SK are top 4, I'll shoot myself.
I mean, SK almost beat Fnatic. Remember? So, like,
oh yeah, they had a really close best of 5 against Fnatic. That's true. So what did this lady say? Oh, she's pretty cute. She says, so will we start a Fnatic drama before LEC summer? They are smashing everyone in scrims, so the roster works, by the way. I'm not even going to dignify that with the response. Why didn't they sign a jungler? You sell self-made and sign Adam as an understudy for this split. That actually makes a lot of sense. But the Weeple role swap seems like a fudge because they didn't get a jungle replacement, because no way is Adam better than Weeple top right now. I can't disagree with that. That's true, but
I can't disagree with that either.
You have to change something. Like you can't.
Well, I mean, I think underneath, I believe Fnatic has some financials. So that I think they're trying to save money too. I wouldn't be surprised if they got rid of their academy team.
Yeah, and like I don't know, with Europe having stacked rosters of Mad Lions, Rogue, and G2, that's good. It's showing that Fnatic and G2 aren't ruling Europe, and like yeah, I agree, Fabio. Like 4th to 7th is just a dogfight. You know what I mean? It's just the thing that EU's gonna have to deal with. Like if Fnatic is now going to be an org, maybe moving forward, that is not going to be like top 2 or not even top 4 who takes these other spots, like, or even Excel. Like, if Excel's goal is just making playoffs and they get knocked out in the first round and they got a roster just to do that, I mean, okay. Like, what are some of the goals of these EU teams? Because this shit sounds whack. Shit sounds completely terrible. You know what I mean?
Well, look what Excel done. They got older players in Denick and Nukeduck, which means that they're valiant. They're starting to say, maybe we shouldn't just get rid of our veterans and put a rookie in. Maybe we should actually let the veterans play a little bit more.
Yeah, because there's this big resurgence in EU about rookie talent, but it's like rookies, it's a gamble for them to be as good as veterans when they come in. It's a complete gamble, Like EU went through this phase where they just wanted to get a bunch of rookies. I'm like, well, then you take the issues that come with rookies then. That's just how that works, though. You know what I mean? You literally take that when you realize if you take a rookie, that means you automatically know they're not going to be as good as a veteran in terms of how to lead the game and how you perceive the game, how you play the game on a competitive level sense in the LEC, right? And like Wonder said, the rookies are overrated coming out of EU Masters. I mean, to a certain extent, he's not lying. Like, remember when Excel swapped out Chocolate, right? And EU fans were like, well, why don't these other orgs give Chocolate a chance? Would you give him a chance if you were an org in EU, Warren? If you're a team owner, you're like, would you give Chocolate a chance?
Not really.
Like, if there's so many more great players in EU Masters that no one talks about or knows about, why would I give Chocolate a chance? And like, we don't know what happened behind the scenes with Excel, right? We don't know. There's probably a reason why they switched him out. People need to understand this too. Like, we're only given context of a story. We're not given the full story. And we're only given a story from one person's perspective. That's all we're given, But we'll take a few more questions and then we'll head out of here. What's up, Josh? How you doing, man? What happens if Fnatic changes are good? Maybe this is them getting better. Only time will tell. That's true, but I have to judge the decisions right now. Like, I'm not saying that the decisions right now are bad. I like some of them, though, but I have to judge the decisions they're making right now. Adam will not. It's right now not better than Bwipo, so that's a downgrade. Bwipo is not better than Selfmade in any sense of my imagination. That's a downgrade. Niski is a top 5 LEC mid. That doesn't win you championships, at least in the LEC. LCS, that could win you some championships, which is mind-boggling. And you have Upset and Hylissang. And I think Upset is a really good ADC. I think he played fantastic on Fnatic this past split. He had it played out of his mind. Hylissang was also not that good this past split. Hylissang also was just dog shit. Kaiser, Limit, fucking Treats all played better than him. Trimby, no. Trimby was also some dog shit. He just played better in the playoffs. But, I just listed 3 players that are better than Hylissang right now. So their players on paper kind of do look worse than most of the other orgs right now. But coming into summer, the reason with Mad Lions is they might not exactly be as good because they might be burned out after MSI, might be still reeling from the fact they almost beat Damwon, and they have to kind of realize, okay, let's move on from that. Let's kind of play, good right now. But it just depends. This is all just like hindsight conjecture when we're going into these things. I have to judge the moves right now. That's what I have to do, because like, what else do I have to judge off of? I have to judge the roster moves right now and compare with the downgrades or upgrades given the circumstance of what they're putting me into, obviously. I'm
gonna give the new Fnatic, and I think this is fair, 8 games. 8 games is a good sample size of the new Fnatic. I'm sorry. 6 games is a good sample size. If they perform pretty decently in those 6 games, then I can make an assessment. For now, management must know something we don't know about this Adam guy, because you just don't pick up a rookie. Just like how Now I know that Abadage situation with Schalke was, they was offered a ton of money for him, and the org is close to selling their spot. So, but there must have been a reason why they swapped out Gilius and get this. I think he changed his name to Nuke now, not Nuclear Int.
Hey man, Warren,
So,
would you say Fnatic is not making worlds?
I can see a world where they don't make it.
Yeah, I really don't see a world they make it. Like, I'm just putting this all in context, or well, yeah, context, right? They got a technically in theory a downgraded top laner. I don't know how Adam is going to translate to the LEC. Whipple role swapping. I don't know how he's going to translate to being a jungler, playing against these actual better junglers in the LEC, and then competing against Selfmade and Aloye. I don't know how to do it. Yankos, even though he played like some ass to split, he's still not just a dog. You know what I mean? Then you have Niski. He's
Okay,
not better than Larson, Humanoid, nor Caps.
let's scroll down the screen. I don't need to see this ape on my screen.
Oh my god. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that on here. No. Oh my god. Oh my god. Compare Reckless Mood while in G2 and while in Fnatic, and all will be clear. I can't. Got a point there. That's a fair point, I'd say. That is off topic. You can't compare one honeymoon split in G2 to years in Fnatic. Just look at some of old Fnatic content. Reckless was doing more than just smiling and laughing. Also, if G2 doesn't win summer, it won't be all that clear anymore. Reckless is a winner. Kind of been judging a player off YouTube content. You're a fucking ape. What? That's why you know some people are some retards. Judging a player's like mental structure on fucking YouTube content. Judge a player off the stuff in the game. Like, what the fuck is wrong with some people? I don't know, but we've always went through this with Fnatic, though. These players, this is not a coincidence, man. It's just a badly run League of Legends org in the coaching department.
I think since 2018, it's kind of gone downhill.
Soaz talked about shit he didn't like, what that Young Buck was pulling. Caps didn't like certain things. Reckless obviously didn't like certain. This is not a coincidence. They're just a badly run League of Legends org. It's just how it is. You know what I mean?
They have a cool logo.
Yeah, I do. And I have their jersey, and that shit's comfortable as fuck, and it looks amazing on me, and ladies love it. But, the issue here is like fans would go, oh, the players, they don't know what's going on, and this man, fuck. Like, just because you like them doesn't mean you just make random bullshit excuses for them. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Like, do we hold them accountable, or do we just make bullshit up? Because when TSM does these things, TSM gets railed for them.
Yeah, they get railed like
like fucking my ass getting
canceled. I don't want to get canceled, but let's just say that
it's always a field day when TSM
bent over at the end of the day.
Hey man, I'm just saying though, we gotta be. I don't claim to be consistent, but for League of Legends community and people that love to be consistent, whatever that's supposed to fucking mean. Well, if TSM did these things, then they'd be getting railed, and players, have left TSM for various reasons, obviously, and we know why they did it, but they'll never say why. It's pretty obviously well known why they left. But TSM did these things, and they get railed for it. Why don't Fnatic get railed for this? And people know these things. Like, all these players can't be lying, though. Caps literally said the reason why he left was not even just the contract thing. He explained it. A lot of the players on the roster at that moment in time didn't want to change up how they played. They didn't want to fix their mistakes. Lots of things, you know what I mean? Like Broxa left because of other reasons. Young Buck left because of management. The fuck? Young Buck, 6-time winning head coach, left because of management. How does that even make sense? What is going on? Like, Warren also didn't like that Yamato Cannon got selected as a head coach for Fnatic to split, actually.
Yeah. What? I'm sorry. What happened with Yamato Cannon?
No, I remember you said you didn't like that Yamato Cannon got selected.
No, I didn't. I think they could have got like a better coach, but again,
I agree with that. Nick, I agree with that. He went.
I really think they could have. Maybe I'm being a bit picky, but that's how I feel. But if anyone else, yeah, I don't know what they're doing with their org. They like the whole Nemesis thing. I think, I don't know. Like they just been since Soaz left. like I would say the 2020 year was probably, even though they barely got it to Worlds and the split, that I think the 2020 COVID year was probably their last good year.
Mm-hmm. Because like you could already tell shit was hitting the fan. They were losing a lot of games. The players' faces look like they don't want to play with you. Like I don't like even this split. Players didn't want to, obviously they did not play the game correctly at all. But even just how these players play the game, they looked like they didn't even want to play at all. The drafting was all over the place. It was just a shit show. And like Selfmade even said the same thing I was thinking. After they lost to Schalke, they're making changes. I'm pretty sure we all could have predicted that. Like they literally got knocked out by Schalke like it was fucking nothing. Bro, they just been failing recently. And, you know, I get their fans are going to say, well, we've always been the best in the LEC, top 2, Worlds Finals, and all other shit. Well, true. But there's always context to these things. Players could have just overperformed. They could have just had a honeymoon phase at these international events where it all just works out. Just because you're winning a lot doesn't mean you have no issues or anything like that. You know, that's just how people just need to realize that. But I think we had a really good show. Anything else you want to say, man, before we head out of here? Thank you, everyone, for being here. It was nice seeing you guys again.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Nickname I. It's finally you. As much as I love you as a person, and you had some comments that I actually agreed with for once. I can't believe I'm actually saying this out of my mouth. I actually had some. You actually had some things that I agree
This is
with.
the most truthful thing this guy has said all day.
When you're not spewing your NA hatred like you got some white hood over your head, but but yeah, all the hot takes. I appreciate everyone coming to watch this stream. It was really interactive and this was fun.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. See you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, most of all, enjoy. All right, signing out. Peace. Have a good day. See you
Take
later.
care.